Okay, today we have the pleasure of testing my first quality Damascus blade. This is some Chad Nichols Damascus. He's a famous Damascus maker, so it's top of the line, good stuff. And the knife is the VECP from Les George. Factory edge is very nice. This is 100% USA made, baby. I'm very excited to see how this Damascus does. I recently tested some cheap Damascus from a budget knife company, Concept, and it was very lackluster, very a little disappointing on the edge retention department. So I'm very interested to see what actual, quality Damascus is like. Starting with regular thickness cardboard. This knife has a nice hollow grind on it. But the overall geometry is on the thick side for sure. So it's not going to be a super slicer. But as you can see, it's doing just fine on the regular stuff here, regular thickness cardboard. No choke up spot either. But the ergos are very, very comfortable, and you're pretty close up to that edge, so I don't feel like I'm getting pushed back too far. There's a sharpening trail there, so you will need to make sure you don't get caught up in there as you're slicing the cardboard. I think it only happened to me like maybe twice. Here we're cutting the double thickness cardboard, and it's definitely, you can definitely feel the thick geometry here. You're having to put a fair amount of force down to cut through it, but it's cutting very cleanly, so it's not a sharpness issue, it's just a thickness issue. Utility cuts. This is a pretty classic drop point blade shape, so this isn't going to be the blade's specialty, but it can absolutely do it. Kind of raising up to get to the tip there, and once you're up there, it's cutting very nicely. Let's get out the old leather glove. Let's roll this puppy up and make some sushi. We got our belly to work with here, so we'll start up kind of towards the tip and then rock back. And perfect. That's what you want to see. You don't want to have any sawing motion back and forth trying to get the cut through. You want just one rock back, and a little bit of a pull, and you're through the material. That's perfect. Nice clean cuts. Cecil Raup. Same concept here. Starting with the tip, rocking back, and you want it to just pop it, just like that. No leftover strands hanging on or anything. Just a clean cut, and it's doing it. Very nice. It does feel thick, though, you could tell a difference between, cutting with something like this and something with much thinner geometry. But it's, it's doing it. It's freaking doing it just fine. Next up, should we do the edge killer? This stuff is gnarly, man. I just started using this in the cut tests, and it dulls these edges so quickly. This is the cleanest cut I've got off of it so far. That was a really clean cut. And I've only done like 4 knives so far, but this was the cleanest one. A lot of times it just frays, and you're sawing at it for 20 saws to get through it. And so that was actually really good. Let's try this thick rubber tubing, which I thought was going to be an issue because of the thick geometry of the blade, but actually it really wasn't. And going back to that big thick rope, over time we will really see how it is affecting edges. Right now it seems like it's an edge killer for sure, but I think next we'll probably test some super steel and see how that does with it. All right, let's see if we can get through the strap here. 2-inch ratchet strap material. See if we can get through it in one slice here. Yeah, pretty close though. About 3/4 of the way through. Not bad at all. Now, an interesting thing that I read about Damascus from on Laren Thomas's one of Laren Thomas's articles. He was saying that Damascus, when the edge of Damascus wears, since there's two steels there, one kind of wears down faster than the other, and it'll almost create like microscopic saw teeth on your edge, which is cool. And I think we see that evidenced right here, because we're going to try cutting paper here, and it's going to feel a little snaggy and not cutting very well. But you just saw that it did really well on the ratchet strap. So my theory is that that's what's happening, is we have these little microscopic teeth on the edge now. And while it's not great for cutting paper, it's great for actual cutting, you know? But still, it's cutting paper, just not very easily. So let's strop it up and see what that does. I mean, even just that, this has performed many times better than the cheap Damascus. That stuff, I mean, yeah. We didn't even use the edge killer rope on that one because that was before I started using it, but it was not cutting paper at the end at all. And if we had used the edge killer rope on that stuff, oh boy, yeah, it would be like a butter knife, I bet. Getting a nice strap on this baby. And let's try again. Oh yeah, much smoother. I still feel a couple little snags, but it's cutting really nicely. Now I want to try something. I want to try, by popular demand, cutting the strap again after the stropping. I've had quite a few people ask me to do that, and I think it's a pretty good idea. You can see, the difference the stropping makes, and it's almost all the way through. That's like 15/16 of the way. Very, very close to all the way through. So, yeah, that was the difference that we saw from the stropping. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to try just extremely lightly getting this edge on this this worn out stone that I have here on the edge of my strop. It's just a tiny little stone from my work sharp that's really used and worn out, so it's a very high grit, and I think it might just be taking off those little tiny burrs that are on the edge. Let's find out here. Oh yeah, much cleaner. Zero snagging. And in fact, let's go back to the strap again. I had a feeling that I could probably get all the way through this time. Let's find out. Oh yeah, baby. Nice. So there you go. Interesting results. Yeah, it definitely feels different than a mono steel. There's something about this feels a little different. As far as like edge holding capabilities, it seems to be pretty good. I wouldn't say it's up there with like the super steels of edge retention, like Maximet, K390, and stuff like that. But it performs way better than budget Damascus that you get, and it looks amazing. So you're trading looks for a little bit of edge retention probably, but especially in this case, this Damascus looks so good on the knife that I would buy it. I would definitely buy it and use it. So there you go, folks. Please like the video before you leave. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you next time.